So I made a poll a few days ago on my social media account, and I asked many of you guys, would you really want to actually see that scuffed Attack on Titan review video I made in my car? And many of you obviously said yes here. So because of that, I was like, sure, you know what? I'll go ahead, I'll upload it, keep it as kind of like a memento of, you know, how far I would technically go to be able to get a video up if, let's say, I had no power. And, yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I know that the audio and the video quality won't be amazing, but this is more for just, like, I guess, just the records of just the I guess, the grind of me getting videos out, because I was really stressed, actually, when my power went out, because I legit have been very consistent for the past, like, almost 3 months now with not missing a day of uploading a video, and I was actually stressing that I would not have a video up, you know, that day. But thankfully everything worked out in the end, and obviously I did have my power return, but this, once again, was probably going to be uploaded on my phone if my power didn't come on in time. But okay, I'll let you guys watch the video now. Hey guys, so as you can probably see, the video, the background, and the audio is a little bit different than how it normally is. And the reason for that, which is pretty hilarious, honestly, to a certain degree, my power's out. And what's even stranger is that soon as I finished the episode of Attack on Titan, like soon as I finished it, and I was sitting down, putting all my recording equipment together, about to sit down and record, you know, my episode review, my power goes out. I call my electric company and say, we don't know when it's going to be up. Could be a few hours. Could be tomorrow morning. I'm like, really? So I've been basically sitting around waiting for, you know, just the potential possibility of the power to come out. Right now, it's basically 8 o'clock. Dark outside. I'm like, okay, I have no power. I want to get in my vehicle, turn on my light, and nothing's going to stop me from talking about this Attack on Titan episode. That's just cold, harsh facts. There's nothing stopping me, because my overall hype cannot be contained. I want to talk about the episode because it was outright fantastic, and nothing's going to stop me from doing so. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about that episode. If you have not seen today's episode of Attack on Titan, I highly recommend you do, because it is straight up just amazing. Like, absolutely breathtaking of an episode that, honestly, Studio Mappa was cooking. They were cooking some good stuff, a 5-star gourmet meal. That is how legitimately good the episode of Attack on Titan was. So, let's just talk about one of my personal favorite scenes. My personal favorite scene of the entire 1 hour long is the Hanji stuff. And holy crap, man. Like, as someone that is a manga reader, that has legit read the manga, I know how it ends, etc., that Hanji stuff legit made me freaking emotional. Like, I actually cried. Like, I was starting to tear up and cry, because the scene was emotional. Just that moment where Levi is like, dedicate your heart to Hanji, and then you see Hanji's like, let me act cool, let me do this and all that, and obviously she's absolutely terrified. She is scared for her life, but she knows that this must be done because it is the time, and it's the time and place. It's just such a scene, because we have seen this moment a lot with so many characters, like Erwin, so to speak, and then just seeing this moment with Hanji doing it, it has a multi-layer meaning to it, is that Hanji never probably thought it would be, you know, her time to do it, but now it is. And Levi as well, someone that probably is very emotionally hurt by this, because he's had to see so many close friends just die around him. His comrades, since literally the beginning of the story, just die around him. And some people he believed that would never die, just dying around him. And then when you see the moment where, like, you know, Hanji leaves, he doesn't cry, but you can just see from his very expression and the way the moment is animated in general, he is just devastated by Hanji literally having to sacrifice herself to make sure they can get off the ground and escape the rumbling. And let's talk about that scene. So basically, one big detail about that scene, which it's not really, like, stated, it is stated prior to the scene, but it would take, like, an hour to fix the holes within the, you know, airplane. And that's how long it would take, like to weld up the holes, fix the fuel tank, etc. Now, we don't actually know the given time, because it's not directly stated, so to speak, how long it took. We could assume maybe because they had like half a tank and all that, and maybe really trying to force the welding and all that to fix it. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe, okay? If we're wanting to be generous, maybe 20, but regardless, Hanji was having to stall
the actual Colossal Titans coming in about to crush the entire area by herself for an extended period of time, which is just outright insane feat. In terms of what we have seen so far from, let's say, even Titan slaying from Levi, that's an insane feat. Like, for Hanji to literally wipe out that many Colossal Titans, to stall for that long period of time, even if it's just 20 minutes, is insane. Even 10 minutes, hell, even just 10 minutes of stalling is just ridiculous. Like, because we know for one moment, one mistake, it's over. And you've got to also imagine, we even see the details of Colossal Titans taking place and taking a toll on Hanji's body. For instance, she literally catches fire and just goes out in a ball of fire. And it's a really emotional moment, because it's like, despite all this, and Hanji knew that she was going to die, she didn't stop. She kept doing it. And it's just, holy crap, man. What a moment, man. What an honest an incredible moment that was adapted for this episode of Attack on Titan. I was just truly blown away by the sheer quality of it, not including the music. Like, the music was just incredible. Like, oh my goodness. Like, if there's one thing we could all agree on, I think, despite everything, the music of Attack on Titan is usually just, it's always a banger. Like, the music is always, it just goes hard. Like, it really goes hard. It is something that blows us all away. And that entire moment with the music with Hanji, it gave me the same vibe and emotion that basically I had when I watched Erwin do his glorious charge. Suzume, and, you know, he's just going in, charging against the Beast Titan. That entire scene, you know, that's the same feeling I had for the Hanji stuff for this episode. And I'm just like, yo, it's incredible. So let's talk about a few other little details. So, despite, obviously, the incredibleness of the episode, I absolutely loved everything about it. I really don't have any complaints. I know that there is one scene that is cut. There's like a cliff scene or something. Like, I forget, it's been a while, but apparently like some scene was cut. And I remember someone telling me that today. If this is true, do clarify in the comments below. But the point is despite that, if something was cut or whatever, the point is that the episode was done really well. It definitely felt like a movie, and I think that there was a lot of respect given to the overall source material of Attack on Titan, and that everyone that worked on it did a fantastic job. But I need to talk about the elephant in the room, since this is technically Attack on Titan Day, and we're gonna talk about just basically everything Attack on Titan for the episode that came out. We need to talk about that rocky launch today. Anyone that has obviously watched the episode today has probably been twiddling their thumbs and waiting for the episode to drop. I know I was. Like, the episode came out very early this morning in Japan, around like 9 or 8 o'clock this morning, very early on. And the episode on Crunchyroll did not air, to my understanding, like 5-something to 6-something my time. PM, for clarification. Basically, like, you know, 8 hours to 6 hours after the broadcasting of, like, you know, the actual airing in Japan, that is when Crunchyroll decided to release the episode. That's when it came out for people to basically see legally. And this is where things get a little bit interesting about the whole ordeal, the whole shebang, so to speak, because it is relevant to Attack on Titan, since the release also matters. The thing is that upon the release of, you know, Attack on Titan in Japan, we were waiting. Crunchyroll never made an official announcement when the episode theoretically would be coming out today. There was never an official statement like it'd be coming out at, let's say, you know, 5 p.m., 6 p.m., etc. It was never officially stated. We never had something like this from Crunchyroll at all, and they do this sometimes with a bunch of series, and one of the big things that the community likes to agree on collectively is that most likely this is because they don't want to crash their servers. I mean, hell, even this morning for Crunchyroll, before Attack on Titan was even up, Crunchyroll's website crashed, like, for a full hour. It was down. So basically, Crunchyroll servers are obviously like a potato. They just break down. They're not even potato. It's like paper mache, so to speak. That's a better analogy. Their servers literally just crumble at the sheer fact of just, like, a little bit of traffic more than normal. And so most likely the reason why they didn't want to probably give an announcement release is probably to alleviate the stress to the server. Regardless, if that is fundamentally a problem and that is something they worry about, that should be fixed. There's no excuse for that. They make a lot of money. They basically have a monopoly in the industry for anime. There's no excuse for why they can't handle server load. That's all I'm going to say. But anyways, besides that, let's get into the other hot topic of the situation with Crunchyroll today. The translation. So, one thing I've obviously already left out is that, you know, it took so long for it to come out. And regardless of whatever issue or the reason why, licensing, whatever, okay? The point is that we were waiting, twiddling our thumbs for like 6 to 8 hours, waiting for the episode to come out on Crunchyroll. In that time period, within an hour to 2 hours, there was a machine translation of the episode for people to watch in English, and then like an hour after that, there was a fan translation that was pretty decent for the episode that came out. And here's the problem. The fact that you had the fan translation out within 2 to 3 hours after the airing of Attack on Titan, and we had to wait another like 5 hours on top of that for the official translation, is pretty inexcusable. Once again, I don't know exactly what goes on behind the scenes, etc., why they did it like they did it, but the point is if it has something to do with translations, they're losing money. Like, it's a no-brainer that these official streaming sites lost a lot of money today for Attack on Titan. Because a lot of people, even myself, are not going to wait hours with no actual date announced or when it's coming out for a release that might not ever happen. We're just going to go alternative means. Like, we're just going to watch it somewhere else. And a lot of people did that today. I'm going to keep it 100% real. That's what people did today. And so Crunchyroll having just such a scuffed release like that, it's just like, no wonder people pirated Attack on Titan today. It was just such a bad way to handle the whole situation. So it's just like, yeah, that was not good. I don't know what they were doing, but here's the thing. I know for a fact, even if I want to be generous, Crunchyroll does get the episodes early. Even if, let's be generous and just say by a few hours. Okay, let's just say by a few hours they get the episode before broadcasting. Okay? Even still, if they do, okay, and they only have a few hours to translate, and I'm not saying that they should overwork translators. I'm not saying that either. But I'm saying the fact that fan translators got a fan translation up like 2 to 3 hours after broadcasting, and then Crunchyroll didn't get it up for like maybe 5 hours after that, just says enough. It says enough about the situation. So all I'm saying is just great episode, but bad start for today for Attack on Titan fans. Now, let's get off all the doom and gloom. Let's actually talk about the other elements of the episode. So one thing in particular that I think that, you know, this episode of Attack on Titan does very well, it continues that theme of hatred and violence only breeds hatred and more violence. It's a cycle. And obviously one of the big narrative themes of Attack on Titan is basically showing that there's just always this endless cycle of hatred, despair, and people not realizing just like their mistakes or problems they have internally until they're just too far gone. Like Reiner, to Eren, to Mikasa, to Annie, just all the characters, so to speak, they all obviously are very flawed. They have, you know, killed people within the story. They all have issues within themselves, and they realize that they're not necessarily good people, and they don't have like a moral ground to stand on, so to speak, to say they're better than everyone else. The point is that they realized too late, little too late, so to speak, before it was already at just the nuclear option, so to speak, of the rumbling taking place and wiping out basically all of humanity that is not on the Paradise Island, which is just, it's sad. It's scary, it's wrong, it's dark, it's messed up. But the point is that nobody ever gave any option, so to speak, to, let's say, Eren. Nobody gave him an option, a way out, so to speak. He waited and waited, and he said it just straight up to him even in this episode. He's like, I'm not leaving, you know, Paradise and my friends his chances to luck. He said it himself. He's depressed and upset about it, but he's like, look, you know, I'm not going to let luck decide the fate of everyone around me. I'm just going to take matters into my own hands, and I'm going to save you guys. That's literally what he does. And once again, I'm not saying Eren is in the right. I don't think the option he's doing is correct, but it does not change the fact, though, that nobody ever gave him any other option. There was no other decision he could have made, so he was forced down that path. And even though Eren is obviously trying to fight for freedom, the whole objective of his whole thing is to get freedom for his friends and everyone else on the island, he is the least free of them all. That's what's sad. He's a slave to time. He's a slave to the Titans. He's a slave to just the future. Everything about him, he's not free. He is literally imprisoned and chained up and is not able to do what he wants. And it's honestly a really unfortunate and sad situation for him. And so just everything about it, it just goes to show how far you could ascend if someone, You know, it's just lives a life like Eren, so to speak. So, I don't know, it's a really good episode, and it's one of the big reasons why, obviously, Attack on Titan is just so beloved, and why it can be so polarizing in some areas, because of just how themes are and what it actually handles, some of the discussion topics and themes it handles throughout its entire story. But, yeah, Attack on Titan today, incredible. Just simply, that is the words that come to my mind. An incredible episode of Attack on Titan with all its themes, and how no matter what they want to do, the only way that they're going to be able to stop Eren is by killing him. That's basically the only option that is available. Because Eren's like, look, I'm allowing you to do what you want, but I'm not going to stop. There's nothing else. That's it. That's it. He's given up. He's going for the only route he knows. And as always, even with the memes, he's going to keep marching forward. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's not going to stop. And so, if they want to stop that, they're going to have to kill him. They're going to have to trample over him, and they're going to have to kill him, and that's it. So, I don't know. I just, like I said, the fundamentals of Attack on Titan is very dark, very deep. There's a lot of discussion within the very topic and themes of Attack on Titan. And I think that's just straight up, that's one of the big reasons why Attack on Titan is so popular. So, yeah, overall, incredible. Can't wait to see what happens next. From what I hear, the next episode of Attack on Titan is going to be fall 2023. That's how long we're going to have to wait until the next episode of Attack on Titan. So it's going to be a while. Good long while. But it will be worth it in the end. Because, I mean, look, I know when the ending finally does arrive, oh boy, the community is going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say right now. I'm going to save my piece for that time. But it will be still a very fascinating time, because it will be the end of a series' long decade journey, over a decade-long journey now at this point. I will be sad to still see Attack on Titan go. So, I'll leave this video there. Thank you so much for watching, despite the whole jank setup. Please forgive me for that. Hopefully my power situation is fixed by tomorrow, or even an hour after this. It's gonna make me a little bit upset if, let's say I finish recording this video, I upload it, and then as soon as I do, my power comes back online. I mean, I'll be happy my power's back. Don't get me wrong there. But I just, like, I'd be a little bit upset after going through all this effort, doing my thoughts and emotions on the episode, my power comes back. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please do leave me a like. It does help me out a lot. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that, be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.